Possible new warning signs for the president's future ambitions after a blue wave gave Democrats control of the House. A new poll from Monmouth University finds that just 1 in 3 Americans think he should be reelected. 59% of Americans want to put someone else in the Oval Office. Even 16% of Republicans think Trump should be a one-term president. Let's bring in Peter Emerson. He has worked in 3 Democratic administrations. Republican strategist Noel Nickpour and former GOP House Committee Counsel Sophia Nelson, an NBC Think contributor. I know those stats are going to put a smile on at least 2 of your faces, maybe even 2.5. The half I'm going to ask first here, Noel. Do you think this is a sign that the president is on the wrong track? Does he need to make some kind of realignment?
Well, you know, there's 2 things that I'm looking at. First of all, it's 2018, and it's a lifetime away from 2020, so I don't think that President Trump is sweating it. The second of it is this. I think it's his personality and the constant rhetoric. It's not his policies, because if you ask any Republican, he has delivered on his promises. So they're very happy with what's going on in the marketplace. They're happy what's going on in the economy, with the job sectors, with everything that he has done policy-wise. If you ask Republicans, Democrats are not going to be happy with his policies, and that's okay.
Okay, but
I think it's mainly his personality.
And can the policy agreement, can the things that those Republicans who support the policies, can that overrule the personality issues, if you want to, break it down to be that simple?
We will see. I mean, like I said, it's 2018, and we're coming off the heels of a blue wave in the House. We have a red wall in the Senate. So after everything is cooled and we get into the middle of 2019, as we get closer to 2020, that's when he needs to worry if poll numbers like these keep resurfacing. But right now, I think that we're just coming off the heels of a very heated midterm, and I'm glad. I'm glad that we have had such a close midterm, because it means that more people, red and blue, are voting. And I'm really happy to see that more people are getting involved.
Yeah, that has definitely been very much a silver lining to all of this. Sophia, you're a Republican, but you feel differently about President Trump. What is your assessment of this? And do you think another Republican should make a primary challenge?
Well, the first thing I want to say is that Noel and I are actually on the same page. Look at this. Policy versus personality I wrote down before we ever got on film here, on the camera here. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I do think that he should be challenged in a primary, but I don't know who that's going to be. John Kasich, I just don't see it, because the base of the Republican Party is very pro-Trump. Now, here's the deal, though, that's very important, Alex. It's going to determine what happens. First of all, we're 2 years away from 2020, and that's going to come fast. White women are fleeing the GOP. The suburbs have fled the GOP. Black and brown people left a long time ago. In a demographically changing America and map, I don't know how the president gets himself reelected now that Florida's definitely back in play. So's Wisconsin, so's Michigan, and so's Pennsylvania. California and Orange County turned blue. Trump has realigned the map, and not in a good way. And that's what I think is biggest. Personality is his #1 problem. He's in his own way. But the map is changing as well, and 2018 shows that in a big way.
So, and she's right on the map. But, Peter, with regard to the poll numbers we were talking about, good news for Democrats, or is it a snapshot and this could be fool's gold?
It's a giant vein of fool's gold. 1, because it's too early. Second, because there's no Democratic candidate to compare against. I think the real interesting number in these polls is that only 16% of Republicans think Trump should be replaced.
Only? You're surprised at not more?
Yes, because the Republican moral foundation and principles of which the party was established have gone so far astray that I'm astounded that that number is higher.
Yeah, but evangelicals voted for him in the wake of the Access Hollywood tape that came out, in October before the November election?
Yes, white evangelicals, and they have this passive sort of acceptance of their leaders as well, that somehow moral weakness is to be forgiven and not challenged or even judged.
You know, Noel, the president spoke with the Daily Caller about the midterms, and he made an unsubstantiated claim that I want to ask you about. Here's what he said. The Republicans don't win, and that's because of potentially illegal votes when people get in line that have absolutely no right to go vote, and they go around in circles. Sometimes they go to their car, put on a different hat, put on a different shirt, come in and vote again. Do you think the president truly believes that? Do you believe that?
Well, I mean, when I heard that, it's maybe one incident. I'm sure that maybe, I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe something like that has happened where somebody has put on a different hat and then went and voted again. I don't know. But what I think the gist of it is the fact that he, you know, if you look at what happened in Florida, if you specifically look at that incident with Brenda Snipes, that is shady. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, that's shady. So he could be insinuating of more incidents like that where there looks like there's potential fraud versus actually literally going in and changing a hat.
Since I have less than a minute left, Sophia, your response to this first, and then you, Peter.
You know what's shady? The president of the United States making up something that freaking ridiculous, excuse my mouth, on national TV. That's what's shady. And we ought to call a thing. And I am disappointed in Republicans when they don't say, Mr. President, that was wrong. That was not the right thing to say. Nobody's changing their hats and getting in their car like Batman and changing their outfit and going back to vote. That's just not happening. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I love the passion with which you said that. Peter, last to you.
Absolutely. I've been a poll watcher. I've never seen anyone get back in their car, change their shirt, and come back. Most voters don't get to the polls by a car. They walk, they take a bus, they take a subway. They exercise their right, their sacred right as an American. He's insulting them, and of course he's speaking from no knowledge base whatsoever, whether it's experience. He drives up in a limo, he gets out, people help him vote, and then he comes out. He's talking off the top of his head once again.
All right, well, I'm glad the three of you guys talk off the top of your heads. Always sage, great stuff. Thank you so much. Good to see you again.